Good morning, good afternoon. How you guys doing? Ambassadors, kings and queens that are listening to me. How you doing today? We are here at Malaka Broadcast Network where we are contrasting worldly facts with kingdom truth. But today we're having a health bulletin. Actually, we're having a health series because in the next 4 weeks, we're going to have a health series. It's the beginning of the year. So happy New Year to everybody that is listening to me. God bless you. I hope this year's full of blessings, okay, and influence and expansion of the kingdom. Okay, so we are going to be doing a series. I'm going to be doing a series with you guys so you know how to create health. We're going to be upgrading our health, okay? Upgrading our health. So some housekeeping that I want to give you. I'm going to have a PowerPoint, and I suggest you to get out your phone so that you are able to take pictures of the slides. Hi, Ambassador Veronique. How you doing? Okay, so you can take pictures of the slides. I also downloaded a workbook, okay, that my assistant is going to be putting it on Facebook, okay, in the comments so that you can download it and then take notes there so you can have all the information together, okay? And in this series, we're not going to go, in the normal thing that you already know. You already know that you have to rest. You already know that you need to sleep. You already know that you need to eat healthy. But the problem is that people don't know, why do I have to do this? Why is so much important? So we're going to go deep, okay? We're going to go deep into the health. So today, our topic today is going to be addressing the root cause. Okay, that's the topic for today, addressing the root cause. Okay, so we're going to put that PowerPoint right now because we're going to start right now with this topic. Okay, so today the series name is Upgrading Your Health. And today we're going to be talking about the root cause. Why the root cause? Because we need to know how to lay our foundation. Okay, the Word of God said also in 3 John verse 1, I'm sorry, the 3rd of John, chapter 1, verse 2, he said, Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in all things and be in health as your soul prosper. And what is your soul? Where your intelligence and your information and your decision is. Okay, that's what is in your soul. So you need to know the information so that you can apply it. That means so that you can have the wisdom of God to apply it. Okay, so you know how to take care of your body. So that's what we're going to be doing in this series. We're going to get the information so that we'll be able to apply it so we can be healthy. Why we want to be healthy? Because this is a year of influence, an influence for the kingdom, a year to expand, a year where the truth is coming out. We need to be prepared to be able to work in our assignment, the assignment that God has given us as kingdom citizens. Okay, we need to be able to expand. And in order to do that, we need to do it with this vehicle. And this vehicle is our bodies. And our body is not only the vehicle that God gives us so we can complete our, assignments, but it's also the house of the Holy Spirit. So you won't invite God, you won't invite God to your house and the house is a mess. No, you won't. You wanted to have it clean. You wanted to have it working and functioning and flowing perfectly so that you can, do everything that you need to do with your body. And God can come in and everything will be in order. So what you're gonna be learning in this series? The series name is Upgrading Your Health series, and the first thing that we're gonna do is identify and understand the root causes of diseases. Okay, and that's what we're gonna be discussing today. We're gonna lay that foundation, okay, to create health, and then we're gonna learn how to, what are the measures that we have to take in order to prevent disease. Okay, so those are the important things that we're gonna be discussing. But before we lay the foundation, that our foundation, before we lay our physical foundation, let's lay our spiritual foundation. You know that our foundation is God. Without God, we can do absolutely nothing. So in the next step, in Matthew 7:24, chapter 7, verse 24 and 27, he talk about how you're going to construct your house, and you're supposed to construct it in the rock. But the people that construct the house in the sand, what happened to the house? That when a storm comes in, it blew out and it's broken. That's exactly what's happening with our health system today. They are building health in the sand. Why? Because they never go to the foundation. They never find out what is going wrong in the foundation. They never go and treat the cell itself, which is the foundation of our bodies. They don't do that. They treat the symptoms. That means that they're trying to build health in a sense. Why? Because they give you medication, a medication that is going to stop the symptom. But whatever is happening in the body is still happening, causing damage into your body and not being addressed. So when a storm comes in, like when COVID came in, who were the people that were more affected? We were the people that passed from COVID, the people that have comorbidities, the people that already have other diseases, the people that their foundations was made out of sand when it comes to the health. So that's why it's so important for us to lay that foundation, okay, and to know exactly what we need to do, what we need to give to your body. Instead of mitigating disease, let's build health, okay? Let's build health and build it in the rock of Jesus. When Jesus healed people, like when he was, for example, when he healed the lepers in the Bible, he didn't just take out the damages in their skin and let them go. No, that he healed them so that the disease will not come back. So that means that he went to the root cause of the disease and remove it. So that's exactly what we want to do. We want to create health. When you're creating health by giving, by building that foundation in your body, okay, then you're going to be preventing disease. And if you already have a disease, you're going to be able to reverse disease, because now you're giving to your cells everything that they need in order for them to work in the highest healing potential. So that is very, very important. So let's start with the foundation. What is the foundation? Everybody thinks that the most important part of our body is our heart, but the most important system in our body is our digestive system. Why is our digestive system the most important? It's a foundation. It's part of the foundation. There's 4 areas that's part of the foundation, but this is the very first area. Why? Because your digestive system is the one that processes all the tools and nutrients that our cells need in order to work in the highest healing potential. In order for your heart to pump the blood, in order for your lungs to give the oxygen, in order for your kidneys to filter the blood, in order to your liver do all the metabolic processes, and in order for your digestive system digesting the food, we need to give our body exactly what it needs. And the only way that the cells are going to get their nutrients and everything that they need is to our digestive system. Okay, so that's the first thing. So how the digestive system work? Let me tell you, the digestive system starts in your mouth and it finishes in your anus. So when you're taking your food, okay, you're eating your food, you're masticating your food, you're breaking out your food. There's some enzymes in your mouth that start breaking the food. The food goes down into your esophagus, into your stomach, and it's in the stomach you have hydrochloric acid that will break down even more the food. And then the food needs to go from the stomach. The food has to be empty from the stomach going to the small intestine. In the small intestine, okay, then you have the liver and the gallbladder. That the gallbladder have what is called bilirubin, that is going to break down the fat if you have any fats in that food. And then as the food travels to your intestines, okay, the nutrition is absorbed out of the food, and then the leftovers goes into the colon until you take it out, and that's the garbage that goes out. But what's happening is that most of us are suffering for what is called leaky gut, because in the intestines, okay, where all the nutrition is supposed to be absorbed, there's holes. Let me tell you, the intestines is like a mesh, okay, like a cloth sheet that when the food goes in, then it filters out all the nutrients, and the nutrients goes to the bloodstream, and the bloodstream take it to the different cells, and so on and so forth. But what happening is, because we put in irritants, we put in foods, we put in all kind of chemicals and toxins and garbage into our food, and we are consuming that. All that garbage are damaging that lining, that mesh. So now the mesh is having bigger holes, like you can see in the picture here. It's having bigger holes. So when the holes are bigger, then now particles of undigested food are coming out into the bloodstream. Okay, bacteria that are coming with the food. Maybe you ate something that has some bacteria, and it didn't kill it completely. Went into your digestive system. It should have been going out in your feces, but it's not going out in your feces. So it's coming into your bloodstream, and it's going into your bloodstream. All that bacteria, viruses, whatever it is. And not only that, remember that the liver filters everything and metabolize all the toxins and break it down into easier things, and then it take it back either to the kidneys or to the intestine so that it can go back out into the colon in the feces. But if those match are open, some of those even garbage that the liver is sending there to be thrown out in your feces are coming inside your bloodstream. So what happened when that happened? When that happened, then you just start having, you are not absorbing all the nutrients anymore. You start having autoimmunity disorders. Why? Because now all these foods get lodged in different part of your body. All these bacteria get lodged in different part of your body. And now let's say, for example, that it get lodged in your joints. Now the immune system is saying, wait a minute, there's something there that doesn't belong there, and attack it. And then that attack, continual attack to that area, is going to cause arthritis. And that's an autoimmune disease. Okay? Or if that happened in the brain, for example, and some of these particles are stuck in the brain, and now your immune system is saying there's something wrong there, I need to go and attack, then you can have MS, you can have Parkinson, you can have dementia, you can have Alzheimer's, different class things like that. If that's happening in the cells of the digestive system, then you can have IBS, you can have ulcerative colitis, you can have Crohn's disease. If it happens in the muscles, it can be lupus, it can be fibromyalgia. Okay, so that's why we need to make sure that the lining of our stomach is intact. So nothing that doesn't supposed to be filtered to our stomach doesn't go. So maybe the arthritis that you have, or the joint pains that you have, might be because your gut is leaking things that they're not supposed to be leaking, and that is making your immune system. Hi, Ambassador George, in making your immune system work double. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why it's important for us to keep our gut clean and the inside lining healthy and working completely. Okay. So, and there's another reason why it is important for us to have a healthy gut, making sure that our digestive system is working to the highest healing potential, because there's a connection between the gut and the brain. You know that when there's dysbiosis, when there's indigestion, when there's problems inside your stomach, it causes anxiety, it causes depression, and it causes problems into the enteric nervous system. Why? Because the same type of nerves that is in your brain, there is in your stomach, is in your digestive system. And do you know that 90% of the serotonin, and the serotonin is the neurotransmitter that control your mood? Okay, so 90% of the serotonin is made in your in your gut. So if your gut is not working right, how many people over there taking Prozac and Zoloft that probably don't need that? All they need to do is correct their digestive system, and they won't have any more problem with depression, because they will make the right amount of neurotransmitters that they need, or serotonin that they need, because there's a connection between the brain. That's why when you feel nervous and stuff, something like that, you feel it in your gut. You feel it in your gut. Why you feel it in your gut? Because of the connection between the brain and the gut. So that's why it's another reason why it's so important for us to have a good digestive system. Another thing is that in the gut is also live another population of cells called the good bacteria. Okay, and they have to have a good balance between the good bacteria and the bad bacteria there. And those bacteria also feel and feed the immune system. So do you know that 70% of your immune system is also in your gut? So in order for us to be healthy, we need to have a healthy digestive system. We need to make sure that nothing is leaking out of our intestines. Why? Because our brain depends on it. And then imagine this, our brain depends on it, and the brain is the one that gives the directions to the rest of the body. So if the gut is not working right, then the brain is not going to get the right information, and it's not going to be able to direct the body the right way. So that's why it's so important for us to have a healthy gut. And at the same time, if gut is not healthy, we don't have the good bacteria to fight for us that makes 70% of our immune system, then we're going to have issues when it comes to getting colds and diseases and bacteria and viruses. We're always going to be sick. So maybe when you have little children that are always sick, maybe something have to do because something is wrong with their gut and need to be corrected. So that's very important that we need to take care of that. So what are the symptoms for leaky gut? So the symptoms for leaky gut is chronic diarrhea, nutritional deficiency, poor immune system, headaches, brain fog, memory loss, excessive fatigue, skin rashes, problems in the skin like acne, rosacea, eczema, arthritis of joint pains, depression, anxiety, ADD, and ADHD. Listen, mothers are listening to me right here. If you have children that are being diagnosed with autism and being diagnosed with ADD and ADHD, correct their nutrition, correct the health of the digestive system. That can improve the condition. And the same thing if you have any autoimmune disease like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, celiac disease, ulcerative colitis, fibromyalgia, healing your gut is going to help you correct those diseases as well. So that is very important. So I hope you all taking pictures of this slide so you can get all the information. Because if I say everything, it's going to take us forever. But I want you to get the essence of the information, okay? So what caused the leaky gut? So a diet full of gluten, lectins. Lectins are a chemical that some vegetables, like for example tomatoes, have that to protect itself from the environment. Okay, so when you are eating the tomatoes, it's good to take out the skin if you want to take out the lectin, or maybe wash them really good. Vegetables that need to be washed really good. Also GMOs, that means that genetically modified foods also damage your intestine. Conventional cow milk damage your intestine. A lot of sugar, chronic stress, toxins, and when I'm talking about toxins, I'm talking toxins in the ambient and the things that you put in, the chemicals that you clean your house, the air and that you're breathing, all kind of toxins. Dysbiosis, when you have an imbalance between good and bad bacteria. Food sensitivities is also, because food sensitivity is very important, because what happens is, remember that I talked to you about the food leaking out of your intestine, and now they don't out of your intestine to the bloodstream, they don't belong there. So now the immune system is attacking. So now it causes sensitivity to that food, because then the immune system will create an antibody against it. So now when you eat that food again, then you're going to have an allergic reaction, and you're going to have a sensitivity to that food. So that's so important. Why maintaining that lining healthy is so important. And then last cause is constipation. How do you heal your gut? The first thing that you do is removing all the damaging factors. The second do that you want to do is replace it with healthy foods and healing foods that are going to heal your stomach, like cocoa, coconut oil. You want to have things like papaya, that is also healthy for your gut. Healthy fats is also healthy for your gut. Okay, vegetables and fruits that are healthy for your gut. Those are the things that you want to be able to eat. You want to repair also by taking specific nutrients like probiotics and digestive enzyme, things like that are going to help you repair the lining in the inside. And then you want to rebalance your microbiome. You want to balance your microbiome by taking pre and probiotics. Pre are the ones that give food to the probiotics. So you want to give your intestine more probiotics, but you want to be able to feed them so they can stay there. And another thing that you want to optimize by having more fiber is the elimination, because you want to make sure that you're eliminating all this garbage completely in a daily basis. If you eat 3 times a day, you're supposed to be eliminating your food 3 times a day. That's what the normal thing is. Okay, if you're not eliminating, then that means that garbage is staying longer in your colon, and the colon is absorbing the fluids and the bacteria, and it's getting dried and dried and dried. That's why when you have constipation and you wait for so long, it's so hard, because it's the colon is still consuming all the stuff that is in it. Creating more bacteria, bringing more bacteria into the bloodstream, more things that doesn't supposed to be there, more garbage that isn't supposed to be there. Okay, and then we have supplements that you can take, like for example the probiotics, digestive enzyme. Like I said, bone broth is also very healing to the gut. Fermented veggies are very healing to the gut. Coconut products, sprout seeds, omega-3, and fiber. So this is the first part of laying that foundation, having a healthy gut. Okay, so now we're going to the second part. The second part is insulin resistant. So first, we make sure that we are giving the body what it needs. With this one, are you making sure that the body's getting the energy that it needs? When you have insulin resistant, that means that you're not giving the cells are not getting the energy that they need. Okay, so what is insulin? Insulin is secreted by your pancreas. Okay, and the job of insulin is to take the sugar that is in your bloodstream and then take it to the cells and then dump it into the cells so the cells can use it for the metabolic processes that the cells have and everything that the cells have to work. But what happens is that sometimes we eat too much, okay, but don't exercise enough. So the pancreas secretes all this insulin to take out all this sugar out of the cell. I mean, out of the bloodstream. Now, when you take it to the cell and it goes to the cell, either the cell is damaged, either the cell don't want it because you're not doing any exercise. I don't need all that energy. Okay, either there's inflammation all around the cell and the insulin cannot get to the cell. So because of all these things, then now the cell become insulin resistant. It's not taking the insulin. So that means that it's not taking the sugar, the thing that is going to give them the energy, the glucose. It's not taking the glucose that's supposed to give the energy. So what happened? What do the insulin do with all that glucose that cannot go into the cell? The insulin then convert it into fat. So it's an oxymoron when we take a diabetic person that is insulin dependent and we tell them lose weight, lose weight, lose weight, but we give him more units of insulin and more units of insulin and more units of insulin and not teaching them what's happening with their food. Okay, because what happening is now that they're taking more insulin because they're eating more, but all that insulin, what it does is making all that sugar into fat. So it's an oxymoron if you don't teach them the part of eating to giving them more insulin. It's incredible that those things happen. Thank you so much, Ambassador. Okay, so that's very important. So what happened with insulin resistance? When you have insulin resistance, the first thing that happens is that you can get diabetes type 2. And let me tell you, that's the diabetes that you earn because you earn it because of your lifestyle. You earn it like you earn your paycheck. Okay, and because of that, you're gonna get high blood pressure. You can get, if it's a man, erectile dysfunction. That you can get Alzheimer's. Do you know that Alzheimer's, they call it the third type 3 diabetes because it's insulin resistant in the brain. Okay, so they call it the diabetes type 3. So all these diseases that you see here in this branch over here, it's all the diseases that can be caused by having insulin resistant. And let me tell you, all these things that I've been telling you about, the leaky gut and now the insulin resistant, it's not something that you're going to notice right away. This has been happening for years before you start having symptoms. And if you just only cover the symptoms, then that process is continuing inside of you and damaging your body. Okay? So what causes insulin resistance? The insulin resistance is caused by eating too much carbohydrates, about our Western diet here in America, the SAT diet we call it, by industrial oils. Let me tell you something, all those oils that you see in the supermarket, they are all processed. You should only take olive oil, coconut oil, and avocado oil and make sure they are unrefined, that they are organic. If it's olive oil, you want to make sure that all the olives come from the same farm. If you get a lot of olive oil that said, oh, I have some from Italy, some from Portugal, some from Spain, you don't want that one. You want one that can tell you, okay, where all the olives that they use for that one is coming from. And then you have the avocado oil. You want to make sure also that it's organic and unrefined, that is cold pressed. Okay, to take it. I'm sorry, I touched it. So that's very important that you do that, because what also causes insulin resistance? A sedentary lifestyle. When, like I said before, if you're not exercising but you're consuming a lot of energy, but the body's not needing all that energy, it's going to store into fat. Okay, and it's going to cause, because it's going to store into fat, and because it's not needed, then the cells become resistant to the insulin, and it's not going to want the insulin anymore even when it need it. Okay, it's going to cause, and then also another thing that causes that is damage by oxidative stress. It's damaged by toxins and things like that. We're going to be explaining oxidative stress in the next part. And damaging the pancreas, when the pancreas are not secreting enough insulin. That's what happened with diabetes type 1, that the person is not making enough insulin. And in diabetes type 2, people start by having insulin resistance, but when they don't take care of themselves, okay, then eventually they get into a point where the pancreas then don't want to secrete any more insulin, and they are insulin dependent. So if you are listening to me, you're under the sound of my voice, and you have diabetes type 2, this is the time for you to control your food and your intake so that you don't end up being dependent on insulin. Okay, very important. So what are the symptoms of insulin resistance? The symptoms are extreme thirst and hunger, frequent urination, especially at night, tingling sensation in your hands and your feet, because they're not getting the energy, then they start to sleep, to fall asleep. Your neurons in your legs and in your feet, because it takes longer, for everything to get down to your feet. So you get more tired than usual. You got frequent infections. If you start having a lot of ear infections or a lot of urinary infections, usually the most frequent are urinary tract infections when it comes to the symptoms of diabetes. And also, if you do a blood work and you have a fasting blood sugar of more than 99 and a hemoglobin A1C, hemoglobin A1C is a test that checks how was your sugar in the last 3 months. And if the percentage is more than 5.9, then you already start. You already have insulin resistance. Also, another sign of insulin resistance is when you have like part of your body, like on in the neck, under your arms, everywhere that it falls, it get darker. That means that not enough oxygen is getting into the area because the cells are not getting enough glucose to process it, and then the area get darker. That's another symptoms of insulin resistance. So how do you heal this? By reducing the amount of carbs and reducing the amount of refined sugars, by avoiding sugar drinks. And people, please avoid sugar drinks, the sodas, even when it says free sugar. And all these things that say free sugar, they might have sugar anyways. Because what happens is that that sugar have over 70 names. And one of the most common names of sugar is maltodextrin. That you see all the things that say no sugar, it has maltodextrin, because it's not exactly a sugar, but it acts just like a sugar. They add it because they add the flavor, the sweet flavor to the food anyway. Okay, but it's still spiking your hemoglobin, and it's spiking spiking your insulin, and increasing your sugar. Okay, so it's very important for you to make sure that you don't be drinking. Try to drink as much natural things close to the way that the God created, the better. Okay, so eat healthy fats, eat clean food and proteins. Think about portion control. Okay, and make sure that you checking your sugar all the time. And then here's a list of the supplements you might want to take a picture of it, or the supplements that help you control your blood sugar and insulin resistance, which is alpha lipoic acid, chromium, cinnamon, vitamin D3, turmeric, magnesium, fish oil. Out of all the things in the list here, the turmeric, you got to make sure that you're not taking any blood thinners or any NSAIDs, meaning non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medications like ibuprofen, Advil, naproxen, Aleve, that you're not taking none of those aspirin when you're taking turmeric. It's very important for that, because the turmeric will increment the effect of that medication. So if you are taking those type of medication, make sure that you consume turmeric that you add into the food, but not supplements. Because the supplement, what it does is they concentrate the curcumin, which is the part that is healing from the plant, and then you're getting more of it. Okay? So you don't want to do that. So the next foundation that we need to lay down is oxidative stress. So we already talked about your gut. That is the one that is making sure that you are protected, that things are not leaking out. We already talked about the insulin resistance, that we were making sure that your cells are getting enough energy. Now we are going to talk about oxidative stress, about making sure that your cells do not get damaged. Okay, what is oxidative stress? Oxidative stress is something that happens if you're alive. You have oxidative stress. It's a normal process that is okay when it's in a normal amount. But nowadays, because of all the toxins and all the garbage that we put in our bodies, all the stress that we go through, and everything else that is going on when it comes to our health, okay, is making it more than the body can handle. Now it's really causing damage to the cells. So the cells, inside the cells, okay, inside the cell, like you see the first picture, you have the cell wall, and you have the little organelles. They call the mitochondria. Those are the ones that make the energy inside the cell. And then you have the nucleus in the middle where the DNA is, right there. Okay, so when we eat anything, when we put any lotion in our skin, when we breathe, all that we intake is get processed in the cell. When it get processed in the cells, it give a negative ion. Okay, after the process and making the oxygen and making the nutrients that it need with that, it leaves out negative ions, and those negative ions are called free radicals. Okay, those are ions that are negative, and they're negative, but they want to be positive. So because they want to be positive, they damage the cell trying to get to the other cell to get positive, but it never happened. It damaged this cell, and then it damaged the other one, and it damaged the other one, and it damaged the other one. Usually, okay, we make that even when you breathe, there's some oxidative stress process that is happening because it's part of the aging process as well. So that's happening improperly. But we, in the nucleus, we make natural antioxidants that clean up those free radicals. But what happening is that as we age, we make less and less and less of those natural antioxidant enzymes that clean up the cells. So that means that we have to consume more antioxidant in our diets. So that happened. But right now we're consuming more garbage, and we're exposed to a lot more garbage that we are exposed to the antioxidants. So what happened? The cells get damaged, as you can see in the second picture, start getting damaged until it get to a point that it's completely damaged. And when it's completely damaged, that is called oxidative stress. So what happened when the cell is completely damaged? It cannot function the way that it's supposed to. And then if it's in the time of multiplying, then it multiplies with the damages. It multiplies with the damages. So now, for example, this cell get damaged. That means that the little garages where the insulin is supposed to park to put the sugar in it, they're broken. The little pathways where the hormones supposed to go in are broken. So it's, the little pathways where the nutrients supposed to go in are broken. And then if they are multiplying like this because you're not correcting the problem, that's when disease is coming. Because as they multiply more, then the immune system said that doesn't belong there because it's dead, and the immune system come on attack, and that's what's going to cause the diseases. You understand? Hi, Ambassador Liliana. So that's why it's so important for us to correct oxidative stress. Okay, so how we can down the oxidative stress? First of all, oxidative is like the same thing that happened to an apple where you leave it out in the oxygen. Okay, so oxidation can damage vital molecules in your cells, including your DNA, your protein. It damages the mitochondria, which is the little organelles inside the cells that create the energy, which are responsible for many body processes. It damages the DNA, it damages the malfunction, it damages the cells until the cells die. It also damages the multiplication, because now you have, like cancer, for example, it's a multiplication of cells that are bad. And it's a abnormal multiplication of them. So now they are broken, and they're multiplying broken. So the organ or the tissue that is affected is not going to be work in the highest healing potential because it's all broken. It's all damaged. So that's why it's so important for us to clean up that damage. Excuse me. So what causes oxidative stress? What is increasing the oxidative stress to the abnormal amount that we have now? Well, radiation. When we're exposed to radiation from your phone, from the computer, chemicals in your personal care products, in your shampoo, in your hair products, like relaxers and all these different things that we do into our hair, the makeup that we wear. You know that in United States, people, in United States, they ban only 11 ingredients of the 1,200 ingredients that they use in cosmetics that are banned in Europe. All in Europe, they ban all those over 1,000 something ingredients out of beauty products that they're not banned here. The beauty products here are not as controlled as they are in Europe. So when we are using all these different things, especially women, that we use all this makeup and creams and lotion and all these things that we do to our face, to create shadows and to contour and all this stuff that we do, all those things we are in chemicals. Everything that you put into your skin, it is absorbed within 60 seconds. Okay, it is absorbed into your stream, into your bloodstream, and going into the cells, causing the oxidative stress. And then GMO food, pesticides, chemicals, metals, all those things cause oxidative stress. Another thing that causes oxidative stress is a stress. Having a stress causes oxidative stress into your body. Having some other diseases cause oxidative stress into your cells. So there's a lot of things that cause oxidative stress, and oxidative stress is the root cause of many diseases. Because once the cells is damaged, then everything else can happen. Once the cell is damaged, oxidative stress can happen. Once the cell is damaged, you have leaky gut. Once the cells is damaged, it calls for inflammation. Everything. A lot of things happen when you have oxidative stress. So you can see here in the right, what it does to your brain and to your eyes and to your lungs and to your blood vessels, to your immune system, to your joints, oxidative stress. Okay. But now there's a method also that you can use. That there's a method out there. It's a natural method out there. It's called Protandim that you can use to allow to build up and activate your cells to start making again those antioxidants to clean up the free radicals. And that's something that we can do for that. Also eating right and everything else will help us control the oxidative stress. So what are the symptoms of oxidative stress? Fatigue, memory loss, brain fog, muscle and joint pain, wrinkles are great because this is the aging process as well. This is the aging process. If you want to stop and put a halt into the aging process, control your oxidative stress. Decrease your eyesight, headaches, and sensitivity to noise, susceptibility to infections. So how do we treat that? We treat by lowering our exposure of environmental pollutants. So people stop using Febreze, stop using candles, unless you make the candle from beeswax yourself at home and then put essential oils for the smell. Otherwise, don't buy none of those candles that you see out there. Don't be putting, Febreze or Glide or all the different, air fresheners in your house. Okay, make sure try to make your own clean detergent for your clothes, your soaps, and even that your skincare. There's one ingredient skincare. I clean my face and remove my makeup with coconut oil. I moisturize my face with a black seed oil. I do masks with fruits and vegetables that I have at home for my skin. So try to use natural things so that you lower your toxic load. Okay, there's things that you're not in control, but the things that you have in control inside your house, you can control it. Also increasing endogenous and exogenous antioxidants. What that means, making sure that you eat food that are rich with antioxidants, and also you can have some supplements also that give you more antioxidant. And then the endogenous antioxidant means the one inside is to use the things that will activate your body to make more of those antioxidants to clean up those cells. Okay, and that will be something like the Protandim. If you want to know more information about that, you just write to me and I will let you know about it. And then work out some of the supplements that's going to help you mitigate your oxidative stress. You have vitamin E, you have beta carotene that you can find that in carrots. You have vitamin C, you have selenium. If you you eat 2 Brazil nuts every day, you will get enough selenium. You got glutathione and resveratrol also that you can get those, and you can also, like I said, your body make glutathione. So if we can activate the body to make more glutathione, and that's what the Protandim does, even better. And then you can eat a high oxidant fruits like the berries, leafy greens, black beans, red grapes, and papayas, which are high in antioxidants. Those are the things that you want to include. If you notice, most for everything, if you look for all the foundational things that we are talking about, the diet is almost the same. High in antioxidant, high in whole foods, high in organic foods, low in all the garbage, low in the toxins, low in the GMOs, to make sure that your gut is healthy and that you don't have insulin resistance, and now to reduce the oxidative stress. So what is the last one? The last one is the most important thing that you want to make sure you take and to finalize laying that foundation. You want to control chronic inflammation. Okay, now inflammation is something that is normal and that is good when it's acute. For example, you get a cut in your skin. You want the red blood cells to come over there, clean up the bacteria in the area, and make that scab that it makes, to heal the area. And you know that you got that cut today, in 2, 3, 4 days you look and it's out and it's healed. And you want the autoimmune system to continue to do that, the immune system to continue to do that. But when the inflammation is chronic, that is, you are in continuous state of continuous state of stress, then you are gonna have continuous state of chronic inflammation, continued damage. Because what happened with the immune system, let's say, for example, for the sake of explanation, let's say you have a mosquito in the wall. You're gonna take your mosquito swaddle and you're gonna kill the mosquito, and the only thing that you do is kill the mosquito. You're not gonna damage the wall by killing the mosquito. And then you go and you clean it, and the wall is like normal. But our immune system don't know how to do that. Our immune system, when it attacks, in those, let's say you have a cell there that is bad that it want to attack, or you have some food that leak from the from um from the gut in there that is lodged into your joints, and you want to kill it, it just attack the whole area instead of just attacking that one thing. Attack the whole area, causing more damage. And what are the damage that the inflammation, that chronic inflammation can cause? It can cause memory loss and cognitive decline. It can cause increase in cardiovascular risk diseases. It can cause abnormal growth of healthy cells. It can compromise your digestive system function. It can give you loss of muscle tone, inflammation. A lot of people that a lot of inflamed that cannot lose weight get weight gain because of the inflammation, accelerated skin aging, and joint and loss of mobility. When you have a lot of inflammation, when you turn to your 50s and you start feeling those joint pains and stuff like that, probably you have chronic inflammation that you need to clear up. Okay, so it's a silent killer. And the thing is that you don't have symptoms until later on. Everything, all these foundations you have to start laying down. If you're a mother, you start laying down this foundation of a healthy gut, of no insulin resistant, of no oxidative stress, of lowering the inflammation when they're kids, because this thing build up as we grow up. And then we start to turn 30, 40, 50, 60, and we are getting the symptoms. And then we go to the doctor and they just block the symptoms, but everything that is causing all this, all the inflammation that is going on, all the damage, all the garbage that is bringing into the system is still going, causing more damage and more damage and more damage. And then you figure it out a few years later, you have to cut a leg because now you have, you have necrosis in the leg and they have to cut it off because of the insulin resistant, or now you have cancer because your oxidative stress went, big and damage too many cells, and now they have a normal growth. So that's why it's so important that you start taking care of yourselves now. Yesterday, actually, the sooner the better. So what are the symptoms of chronic inflammation? When you have chronic inflammation, you have chronic pain, you have low energy, you have frequent headaches, you got chronic allergies, you have high blood pressure, and you have brain fog. Okay, and it's in here in the picture it tells you how inflammation can affect every part of your body, from your brain, from your cardiovascular to your muscles to your kidneys to the GI. The inflammation, damage. So we need to also, the one thing that we need to do is control our stress, because this is what happens when we have a stress. Then our body go into a fight and flight. That means that it starts secreting cortisol. The adrenals starts secreting cortisol, and then all the energy and all the function goes to your limbs, to the arm and legs. Why? Because you're supposed to be running away from a lion or a bear or something like that. That's why the body persists. Is feeling, and it's causing all the damage. Why? Because now the all the organs are in the middle, which are the main organs, which is the heart and the liver and the kidneys and your reproductive organs are not getting the energy, because all the energy are going to the left for you to run. So since they're not getting the nutrients of the energy, start causing damage. Okay, so that's why it's so important for us to control our stress and control our inflammation. So what are the main causes of inflammation? The main causes of inflammation is your food, of course. Inflammatory oils like canola oil, coconut oil. I mean, not coconut oil. I'm sorry. Canola oil, sunflower oil, masola. The made out of corn. All those oils that you see in the supermarket, they all cause inflammation. Processed foods and sugars cause inflammation. Try to eat as close as God made it. And try to cook from scratch in your house where you're adding the stuff, so that way you can add things that are nutritious, herbs and things that are nutrition that target whatever it is that you're going through your body, instead of eating whatever that they put in the food when they process it. Okay, and every time that the food gets processed, they're taking a lot of nutrients and things out of the food that you need. So another thing that causes inflammation is having gut dysbiosis, like having leaky gut. It's going to cause inflammation. The toxins and having oxidative stress is going to cause inflammation. environmental chemicals and heavy metals and mold. Make sure that your house is clean and doesn't have any mold. It's very important for you to know that. Okay, that the air that you breathe in your house is clean. You know, not right now here, especially if you live in Florida, the temperature is really good. That it's time for you to open those windows and let clean air, because during the summer here in Florida, it's like we breathe in the same dirty air all day long because we are in the air conditioning all day. Okay, so it's important for us to go outside and breathe that good air as well. Okay, so 5 ways that you can reduce inflammation. You can reduce inflammation by, of course, eating good, good hydration, regular movement, anti-inflammatory nutrition, reduces stress and improves sleep. Use key nutrients to support healthy inflammatory processes. Okay, so I hope you're liking all this information and that you're going to put it to practice, okay? So what are some anti-inflammatory foods? We know that vegetables are anti-inflammatory foods that also have a lot of antioxidants and also good for your gut and everything. Fruits, a lot of fruits, whole grains, healthy fats. Remember that the healthy fats are avocado, coconut oil is a healthy fat, olive oil are healthy fat, and ghee also a healthy fat that you can use. Butter, when it's natural butter, also is a good fat. Spices, you want to make sure that you use a lot of spices to seasoning your food. Instead of buying, do not buy all this. Most of the seasonings, like complete seasonings or what we call in the Spanish adobo, they contain MSG, and MSG is a chemical that also raises your blood pressure and cause damage to the cells. Okay, so if you can just buy the different powders separate, like onion powder and oregano powder and cumin powder, and then you create your own adobo at home that doesn't have that MSG, will be even better. Plus, you can put spices that target whatever it is that you're going through. If you have, for example, inflammation, and you also have damage in your cells, and you know that turmeric is good, then you can add turmeric to that seasoning. I do that because, for example, when I make yellow rice, because as a Puerto Rican, I'm a Puerto Rican, we eat a lot of rice. So yellow rice, when I don't eat it too much anymore because I want to control my sugar and the amount of carb. But when I do eat it, I eat the like wild rice, and when I want to add color, I use the turmeric instead of using the sazon, because all that sazon that they have out there, they have a lot of chemicals. Okay. Another thing that you want to use, what we make sure you eat, is a lot of beans and a lot of legume and a lot of fermented food. And then you can see in the red picture over here all the top 10 inflammation supplements, anti-inflammation supplements. You have the devil's claw, vitamin E, citrus, proteolytic enzymes, bromelain, papain, gluten, ginger. And the good thing is that some of these foods here, some of the supplement here also work good for your leaky gut. Also work good to prevent oxidative stress. Also work good to prevent insulin resistance. So that's one thing that natural things do that medications don't do. Medication block a pathway, damage something to block something. And it's only treating the symptoms and never the cause. Okay? So that's the difference between natural and not. Okay? So to wrap up here, to explain you a little bit more, what is the conclusion of everything that I'm telling you today? Is that we need to lay a foundation that most of the time, the reason why you have diabetes, the reason why you have an autoimmune disease, the reason why you're not feeling so good and you have some joint pains is because either you have a leaky gut, you will have insulin resistant, you have too many oxidative stress, and your inflammation is up. So if you address all these things and you lay the foundation by creating health, that you're going to be able to improve those conditions if you already have it, up to the time that you reverse it, or you can prevent not getting it if you don't have it already. Because remember that all these things take time for them to show up, but the damage is happening inside of you and you don't even know about it, but the damage is happening. So the sooner you get right with yourself, and the sooner you get right to treating to laying that foundation on making sure that your gut is working healthy, making sure that you're getting the right energy into your cells, making sure that there's no cells damage inside the cell, and you're controlling the amount of free radicals and oxidative stress in your body, making sure that you control your stress and that you're not consuming anything that can increase inflammation, the sooner that you're going to be able to stay healthy and prevent disease and control and reverse the diseases that already are in your body or were about to happen in your body if you don't take charge of it. So the conclusion, that's the conclusion. What is the lifestyle that you want to have in order for you to prevent disease? You want to make sure that you have an anti-inflammatory diet. Okay, you want to make sure that you have an anti-inflammatory diet. Can you put the slide again, please? Okay, you want to make sure that you have an anti-inflammatory diet. You want to make sure that you sleeping every night, you 8 hours. You want to make sure that you exercise every day so that you're consuming and the body and the cells are using the energy that is that you're bringing in. You want to make sure that you eliminate sugar as much as you can and that you don't drink any alcohol. You want to make sure that you lower your toxic load, like I talked before to you about, the things in your house and the chemicals in your body and in your hair and everything like that. Eliminate as much chemicals as you possibly can. If you're not the kind of person that like to DIY, right now you can go to Google and you can DIY anything. Soaps and shampoos and masks for your hair, masks for your face, cleaning products for your house. If you're not that one, then you can find a company that sells organic and clean products and then use those instead. Okay? It's very important. You want to make sure that you optimize your digestive system. So you want to make sure that you're eating right, that you're eating and don't eating anything that is irritating the lining of your gut, and then eat things that repair. Make sure that you have enough probiotics and prebiotics, that you're taking digestive enzymes so that you can help your body digest the nutrients out of the food that you're taking, so they can go into your cells. Because let me tell you something, you can be eating also you can be eating healthy, but if you are stressed out, like I said before, all the energy is going to the legs and to the and to the hands, and then you're not getting none of the nutrients that you're eating. So that's why it's so important for us to control our stress. That's another thing. Manage your stress and make sure that you add key supplements like the ones that I talked to you about. Now, if you are interested in knowing, where do I start? Do I have, if my body have a lot of oxidative stress, do my body have, if I'm suffering from leaky gut and you're not sure, you don't want to go only through the symptoms that I gave you, but you want to find out. You remember that your health is your right, and you have the right to tell your doctor what kind of test you want to get done. Okay? Now, what I want to make sure for you to know is that, especially here in America, if the doctor doesn't have a diagnosis that match that test, or is not included in what they call a physical, you might have to come out of pocket for that test. But it's better for you to go out of pocket now and invest in your health now, a couple of $100, than then have to give a couple of thousand later in life. Imagine working like almost every American does, work 40 years, and to retire so that you can, because they wait until then to enjoy life, and then you cannot enjoy life because now you're sick and all your money is going to the medical. So you don't want to do that. So if you cannot spend the money to get this test, so you know where you are, so you know how you can target your nutrition and your lifestyle to whatever needs to be corrected in your foundation, so you can lay that foundation in your health and create health and experience real health care. Because that's really health care. Creating health is what really health care is all about. Okay? So what you want to do is that, for example, so if you want to see if you have leaky gut, the test, you can get a blood or stool test for sonulin, and that will let you know if you have leaky gut. If you want to check if you have insulin resistance, you want to make sure that you do insulin levels, hemoglobin A1C, and fasting blood sugar. Now, this is part of a regular, the hemoglobin A1C and the fasting blood sugar is part of a regular physical. The insulin level is not, but you're going to request them to do an insulin levels. Okay, so insulin levels, hemoglobin A1C, and fasting blood sugar are the tests that you need to see if you have insulin resistance. If you have a lot of oxidative stress, the test that you want to do is a T-bar assay. It will check for oxidative stress. And for inflammation, for chronic inflammation, you want to know if your body is inflamed. You want to check the C-reactive protein. You want to check the set rate and homocysteine levels. And you want to make sure that the way that I wrote it there, please take a picture so you know exactly what you're going to ask the doctor. So you can do those tests, and then as the results come in, you know what you have to attack first. Do I need to make sure, you want to, anyway, you want to attack everything, I want, but what it does, knowing the result is what you have to go first. Let me correct the gut first, because everything else is looking fine, but the gut said it's a leaky gut. Let me just work in that first. So that way you can target your nutrition to exactly what you need. Okay. So now, if you have any questions, you can let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. You can put the questions now, and make sure that you share this information to a lot of people. Remember, this is a series. Okay, today we started with laying the foundation. Next week we're going to talk about nutrition completely and detoxing the body. How can we detox the body, and how we can have the right nutrition to create health? That's what we're going to be doing next week, next Friday at 1 o'clock. So make sure that you share this to everybody. Remember that we are putting a workbook in the comments, that you can be using the workbook in the comments, so that you can write anything that you need to write in there. Okay, and that way you can have all the information. Make sure that you see it again. If you miss something, watch it again, so you can take pictures of the slides and know exactly all the supplements and different things that I talk about. Okay, so that you can understand it. So I make sure that you get all that information, and that you can share this with anybody that you know that this information will be good. A lot of people now this is the beginning of the year, and a lot of people are having resolutions. Okay, resolutions. I hate that word. I'm sorry that I say hate, but I hate that word, because resolution, it sounds to me like means repeat, and then solution. You're repeating the same solution that didn't work for you the year before that, and the year before that, and then you're trying to do the same thing again this year, and it still is not going to work. Okay, so instead of doing a resolution, let's just work in laying our foundation for our health. Okay, and let's start creating real health care. Okay, real health care is kingdom care, because the Lord wants us to take care of ourselves. Okay, the Lord wants us to be healthy. He needs us in order for us to expand the kingdom of God and to influence the life of others. He needs us to be healthy. He needs our bodies to function. That's the reason why He needed to come in. He needed a body in order to come in and bring us back the kingdom, and bring us back the forgiveness, and redeem our bodies and die for us. He needed to come back in the body. That's how important is our bodies. That's how important is our bodies. Is our vehicle to do the things that we need to do. So it is important for you to take care, to lay that foundation. Make sure your digestive system is working correctly. Make sure that you're not suffering insulin resistance. Make sure that you're not adding damage into your cells and causing more oxidative stress. Make sure that your inflammation levels are normal. Okay, so that way you can cultivate health. You can be optimizing your body. So next week we're going to be talking about, okay, now you're trying to optimize your body, doing the things that you need to do. So what is the right nutrition? Because let me tell you something, out there they are lying to us left or right. We are going by the science in the label: free sugar, free fat, free this, no GMO, and they say that, but you have all the things that are worse, if they have the GMO or whatever. So that we're going to be talking about all that information, and then we're going to be talking about how to detox our bodies, how to take like, if I know that I'm being exposed to so many toxins and so many garbage in my body, how can I detox my body? How can I optimize my detoxing organs? Because God is so good that He created detoxing organs inside of us. Our body is detoxing every single day. What happens is that the load that we give to our bodies is even higher than what our bodies can handle, that our organs can handle. They get overwhelmed. So because they get overwhelmed, we needed to give them a boost by doing a detox. Okay, we need to give them a boost by doing a detox. So that's what we're going to be discussing next week. So I have a few more minutes. If you have any questions, this is the time to ask the questions. Any questions? I'll give you a few more minutes. If you have any questions, remember what I said. Make sure that you share. Make sure that you're taking notes. Make sure that you're taking pictures of the slides, okay? And share it with others, ambassadors, and with other people of God, and in other people in general, okay? So because the healthier we are, the better for us, okay? So let's see if I have any questions. Let me look at the comments. Any comments in here? So welcome to Ambassador Lawson, Ambassador Veronique. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me see here. Ambassador George, thank you so much for being here. Wow. Okay, so I guess nobody have any questions. Okay, so I have a question from Miss Veronique. Says, if someone has leaky gut, can he or she... Okay, if somebody have leaky gut, how they can find out if they have leaky gut? They can do the stool test that I tell you to do the stool test. And the best way to repair a leaky gut is make sure that you taking any milk, make sure that you're not taking any gluten, nothing with gluten, okay? And make sure that you have some um, enzymes, digestive enzymes. By digestive enzymes are full that have bromelain and papain and have amylase, lipase, and proteins. So we want a full spectrum enzymes that are going to help you absorb all the nutrients. You want to make sure that you have a good prebiotic and a good probiotic, okay, so that you can cultivate a good bacteria and feed the good bacteria, okay. You want to make sure that you also consume healthy fats that is going to heal those walls that match inside the intestine. It will heal it. The healthy fats like coconut oil, you can add it to your coffee, for example, coconut oil if you want, and or you can use avocado oil as well, but the coconut oil is the easier one, or MCT oil, which is taking all the goods out of the coconut oil. The part that is really good of the coconut oil, the MCT oil, is also good for healing. Also, bone broth. Bone broth is the best thing to heal collagen. In other words, collagen. But the healthy collagen, the one that comes from natural, is when you make bone broth. Okay, so you can buy a good bone broth. Okay, that is organic, and use it. And the way that you can drink it as a tea in the morning, or you can also use it in your soups or in your or anything that you stew. Instead of add water, you add the bone broth, and you add the nutrient into the food as well. So that's a good way to heal the leaky gut. And yes, sugar is the number one killer of human. Yes, sugar. Sugar is killing us slowly. Like I said before, they have 70 different sugars, and half of the things that said that are sugar free, believe me when I tell you, they have some other type of sugar. They have some other type of sugar that is increasing your insulin, that is causing your insulin resistance, and you have no idea that is causing that to your body because of lack of knowledge. That's why it's so important. These things is so important for you to come into these things and learn, so you know how to work in your body. So now you know why you really need to exercise, why you really need to sleep good. Why? It's not just because people say that is good for your body, but there's a reason, because those things that help you lay down the foundation of your health and create health in your body. Okay, let me look if I have any more questions. Okay, so I guess this is it. Make sure that you share, like I said before, and I see you next week. Remember, next week we're going to be talking about detox and nutrition. So share, tell everybody so they can be here next week. Okay, so bye.